Okay, good evening and welcome to the Highgate Selectboard meeting, September 16th, 2021. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Are there any public comments that are not on the agenda? Mary?
Okay, so I wanted to update on the Anco Mobile Home Park. Actually looking very positive there for once. They have acquired First Choice Property Management to do all their financial, which is a really good thing, because I don't know if you knew the history of that before. They've also acquired a co-op that is helping them to get the park back into a livable arrangement and try to encourage. There's 3 lots that are going to be available. Obviously they need to do different procedures to put trailers in there because of the old to the new. But they're working with them to try to entice people to come on board to help pay for more of the issues that are there. As you probably heard, they lost water on the Virginia Lane side. Chevalier's is on site. Temporary fix is they put a plastic holding tank in and they're keeping it filled to keep them going for now. Permanent solution is they've got a $175,000 plan to fix it with Chevalier's cross-consultant did all the work. Obviously that's going to take a few years to get there. Dave Chevalier feels that the water is going to replenish once we start getting rain. So he thinks for short term we might be okay. If he's wrong, then we're going to be talking a little bit different. But the tenant association meets once a month, and we're going to go to the next one to try to stress the importance of keeping the park clean.
Yeah.
So I really feel really good talking to the people that are working with them and really helping them. So hopefully they're going to do good. There is that one park that we talked about last time that was bad.
Yeah.
The person is this close to being gone, waiting for the, the final court. Once they are, they're going to go in and clean it up and probably pull the trailer out. So I don't think the town's going to be on the hook for anything.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll continue to work with them.
Okay. Anybody else for public comment? Okay. Airport infrastructure project update. So I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our voters for giving us a majority yes vote for the bond. Now it's our time to go to work. Now we need to find the funding so that we don't actually have to use all that bond. So that is our biggest next step. But we will be going after the Eda Grant. What is the timeline for that, Heidi?
Well, I'd like to shoot for your next meeting, but there's a few things that have to get done prior to submitting it, so.
When would we know?
That I'm unclear.
Okay.
It's on a revolving schedule, so you can submit anytime up to March 31st, but those that apply soonest have greater chances. So I don't know how long, actually. I'll try to find that out for the next meeting.
Okay. All right. So we'll also have to meet with Swanton Village reps to discuss a memorandum of understanding, and that'll include our financial, how that's going to work and who's going to be responsible for what and who bills what and where it goes.
Sounds good.
Okay. Preliminary final design permitting and a bid documents process. Aldridge Elliott is telling us 10 to 15 months.
That's what they had put in their study, was that's what it would take.
Okay.
Possibility it could be less, but I think that's a fair schedule.
Okay. And since they have a part of the design done already, that,
They have a concept
Yep.
done, so they will go through preliminary and final design and permitting. Permitting can take a while, which is out of their hands, more in the hands of the state,
right,
and then they would create bid documents.
yeah. And who knows with the COVID processes going the way they are, how speedy the state will be either, just point. And then we hope for a construction spring of 2023, so in 2 years. Okay, and you'd like to designate a point person on the board for this?
When we get rolling, we'll have frequent meetings with the engineers. Not necessarily so much through design, but once we hit construction, there will be frequent meetings. It'd be great to have one point person that could participate as much as possible and, stay tuned in along with me.
Okay. So we had $10,000 in FCIDC funding, thank you, Tim Smith, to get people to come and vote and to get people informed. And of that money, we've spent $6,004.52 plus $30 for drinks, ice, and tablecloths. Okay. Bills pending $2,900 for meal and consulting.
Yes, we haven't been
Roughly.
billed for the final presentation, meeting, attendance, and they still had money in their contract for that, so I'm unclear how much we will be billed, but that's a guesstimate.
Yeah.
But we have not, to my knowledge, paid anything to the church for the meal.
We have not.
So I was waiting for your input on that.
Okay. So the church normally gets $8 per person for a meal. We had a total of 50 people, so $400 seems like a fair amount. So can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for that.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 For those watching, we do have 3 select board members. Kyle just said aye, also on here. Well, we have 4 now, so.
Yep. Okay, anything else we want to update on the airport? Okay, all right, moving right along. Shelley?
I did put the check warrant right on the table for you. Anybody have any questions on that?
Any questions? All right, do I have a motion to sign the check warrants?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 And I included a budget update in my email to you. I don't know, I highlighted it for you, hoping that it would catch your eye if you were going through it. But I was able to create the ARPA fund, which will serve its purpose in separating that. Like, we don't have to have a separate bank account for that. The separate fund within our budget
Yes.
will
Suffice.
meet the needs of the feds. And to date, we have $547,333.55 of ARPA money. I'm hoping tomorrow is a quiet day with the doors locked, and now that bills are mailed and the vote is done, I can sit down and pick apart the arena. But also, Heidi and I have a webinar next month that will give us a little bit more insight in how that money can be used and how to calculate COVID loss, actual COVID loss, so.
Okay.
I might not have a solid number for you for a little bit. But we have received one county payment and one town payment, with more to come.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can use some of those funds for our
Projects.
projects, yes.
And it looks promising. It's my understanding. So,
Yes. The only other thing I put in there for you was just another quick little update on the taxes. Can't find my own at the moment. I believe we were down to here we go, $28,405.78.
holy
As of
cow.
today. I do still have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 properties on my tax sale list that have not even tried to communicate. So, we're moving forward with those.
Do we have a tentative tax date?
The
tax
attorneys are in the process of doing all the title search work right now, and then usually they post it in the paper, and then it's 30 days after that. So I would have to guess we're in September, so sometime in probably November.
Okay. So people have an idea of, we're not fooling around here.
Nope.
Please do
Been
your
the same
part.
thing every year since I've been here.
Yep. Okay, any questions for Shelley? Okay. All right, moving on. Wendy?
You have 2 sets of minutes, September 2nd marathon meeting and the informational session on the 7th.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to read those 2 minutes? Do I have a motion to accept September 2nd and September 7th
I'll make a
meeting
motion.
minutes? Okay, do I have a second?
No, I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I,
Thank you. And I just wanted to thank Shelley, and we had 5 JPs. We were done counting, certifying at 7:30. And the official results were, we had a total of 668 ballots processed, 374 yeses, 294 noes, so it passed by 80 votes. We had 5 ballots that were defective and could not be counted. So, the JPs, we wrapped things up efficiently, and I thank them for their time.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it for me.
Okay. Heidi?
We are moving right along.
We are.
Just back on ARPA, as Shelley mentioned, that amount from payments that came directly to the town and then those from the county that were divided up, that same amount will come to Highgate again next year. So you're anticipated to get $1,094,667 from ARPA funds. We did have a phone call to clarify our eligibility for these projects, because we were unclear about our ability to use it at the airport because it doesn't fit with A&R's criteria for addressing a health issue and/or being in a village area. They did confirm that that project is eligible. So when you are ready to make those determinations on your ARPA funds, you can use it both in the village and on the airport infrastructure. So the money that Shelley mentioned about loss, when we quantify that, you, I believe, are able to use that amount for a variety of municipal uses. It's not so restricted. I don't have any details on that. We'll get that from the webinar. But it seems like you are in a good spot to be able to use it for your projects.
To clarify, Heidi, are you talking the wastewater and the village project and the,
Yes.
Okay.
They're both eligible for the water sewer infrastructure program funding. So,
So just so we're clear for everyone, the town of Highgate will receive an additional $1,094,667.
That's the total.
that's
That's the total.
everything.
We thought we were getting $191,000 a year, so we had a substantial increase in the amount of money that we will be receiving. So, just so people are aware that we know it's a lot of money and we want to spend it very, very wisely. So,
And luckily, you have plenty of time. They're not making you do it in 12 months. You have, I think, until 2024 to make all your commitments and then to spend it by 2026. I'll double check that again. But what that allows you to do is still look at all the grant money that's available and try and bring that in and then
Right.
use your own money.
Yep.
So,
there is a very good likelihood that our bond amount just went down.
fingers crossed.
Yes.
So on the airport project, not the town's infrastructure project, but the state's upgrade of the airport, they are submitting permits. They're asking the town to approve this municipal survey, saying that the town can handle the fire protection, police protection, rescue, road maintenance, and solid waste. So I did forward it to Joe. I have not heard back from him, but one of the things that we understand from the engineering work that was done by Aldridge and Elliott is that it is required that there would be fire hydrants in that area. So that's one of the good things that's coming out of it. And the state, when they came and did a presentation, they did also speak to their willingness to meet with the fire department and talk to them about the types of planes and things like that and do some training. So we have to hold them to that. But, so they're looking for your input. I think I forwarded it to you too, Butch, but this is, as Jeff pointed out at one of the meetings, we're in a unique position where you're not putting stress on your own roads.
Right.
You're putting stress on, any stress would be on state roads. So that is a good place to be.
They're not expecting us to have any responsibilities on the roads that they're taking care of now.
No, they just asked the select board to fill out this survey that goes with the Act 250 permit for their work. So basically, they don't want to overburden the town.
Right.
And how about our project? Will that be a town road? You know, with industry and...
No. No. That would be a private road, I'm assuming by Mr. Harrison, unless he sells those lots, and then it would be the owners.
They would have to go through the same thing like they do residential, right?
Right.
If they wanted us to take it over, they'd have to go through the same.
You don't do anything up there now, right? On like Ramp Road or,
the airport.
yeah,
No,
nothing.
No. Okay. So, do any of you have any questions or concerns about doing the survey for the Act 250 permit?
No.
Kyle?
I don't have any issue with it.
Okay, so can I have a motion?
So,
Second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I, I am curious about the fire protection piece of this though.
Well, I think Heidi's right, we'll have to keep the state at their word and make sure that we're getting appropriate training.
Would we have to go bigger on anything or more? Will what we got for trucks handle everything that
It
could
should-
go into the airport?
Yeah, I think you would be fine because Swanton's your closest mutual
Okay.
aid and they're
Yeah,
actually closer than you are,
yeah.
you know.
My only question is the foam piece, the foam that you would be required to have for
Right.
this protection. Foam is quite expensive, so we'd have to look into that, that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Do you want me to ask them to come back and offer a little more information on the fire training and apparatus that we might need?
I would like it very much, yes.
Okay.
If there is a requirement of number of gallons of foam that are required, or maybe there's no requirement for that.
But Kyle, like Sharon said, would it count as Swan backing us up?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna be fine, because I know they have I'm pretty sure that new engine they just got has quite a elaborate phone system on it, and they would obviously probably respond first because they're closer, but
Yeah,
just something I'm curious about, that's all.
yeah,
Sure.
Does our new truck have anything for the foam?
yeah,
Yes?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
There's a phone system on it, I believe, but I don't know if there's enough capacity,
Right.
Okay,
what would be required for that, that's all.
okay.
Okay.
So are we ready to move on to the next topic? So we are ready to submit our third and final application to the Stormwater Mitigation Grant for the Mesa Road project. So I gave you the full packet, and what we need is that commitment letter at the back of it signed. So this grant is an application for $789,176 with a local match of $197. And I think I put a separate fact sheet on the Mesa Road in there in your packet. So I have updated the information I gave you back in November of 2020. And we're in the middle of the right-of-way process right now, and we have some uncertainty about what we will need to get through that. But it appears we need an easement from the bottom of the river as well. So I built in another $15,000 into that right-of-way legal line to give us a little bit of a cushion. So it changes the whole project amount to 2,697,646. So $2,697,646. Of that, you have $1,394,800 in grant funding already, and you have match commitment already of $315,700. So with this grant and match, that should take us to the full amount of the project. And in your capital plan currently, you have 414,500 set aside, set aside as your match. And I'm calculating about 16,000 of that is our 20% match to get us through design phase. So you still have $398,500 in the CIP available as match. So you'll need to put a little bit more in And this is all just hoping that we are successful in getting the full amount.
Right.
So they may not fund the full thing, but we shall see.
Okay. So has everyone had a chance to look at the environmental mitigation grant for the Mesa Road? Kyle,
Yeah, yes.
any questions or concerns?
The only concern is it's too damn expensive.
Trust me, I know.
That is true.
Okay, can I have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And there was a time that I thought this was a very inflated budget and that we would be able to do it for less than that. Under current conditions, I'm not so sure. Things have changed dramatically, so it's unknown. We have to plan for a worst case scenario.
Yep. Okay.
And I will hope to have the EDA grant for you at your next meeting. There is a Village Core Master Plan meeting for their wastewater design on the 28th, and they will be coming to do a final presentation to the Select Board on that study on October 7th. I did get the Archaeological Resource Assessment back on the FEMA home buyout, and it does say that there needs to be a Phase 1 assessment done. So we're waiting to hear confirmation from FEMA that has to happen, and to find out about funding, because we have not even gotten an award yet, so.
Did they say what they found?
It's a sensitive area.
We know that, it's fallen in the river.
Unfortunately, a lot of the Missisquoi River bank is considered highly sensitive, so I think that they're just covering their bases, which is hard to figure on this one, but that is the determination that came back, so.
Okay. To be determined. Alright, so we'll wait to hear from FEMA for that.
Yes, and hopefully some more news about commitments.
Okay.
So that's it for me. I put several things under your categories.
Yep. Okay. So let's start with the bus sign request. Butch? 2243 Carter Hill Road would like a school bus stop sign.
I
Is that-
do have a sign, and I have no problem with putting it up. It's on that knoll, and I can see where it could be.
Should have one, right?
Right. Whether people can read it or not, it's. But I told her I do have one, if you agree to, we'll put it up.
Okay. Any questions or concerns? Okay. Can I have a motion to
I'll make that motion.
have Butch put up a
I'll second.
bus sign? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Butch, do you have anything else for us that's not executive?
Which ones? Executives.
If it's personnel, contractual, yeah,
Okay, Duso Drive, is that
Okay, yeah, that's public, all public information, yep. Yep,
okay? I don't know if Richard just said something was brought to his attention that there's a request for the town to,
yeah, so I believe Brendan Diesel had sent a request that his homeowners association would like to have the town take over Diesel Drive. So, what are your thoughts about that?
well, I've had only one real concern since before they built any places, that there was no place to drain the water. I know we were doing, is that Whitetail? Off of Homestead?
Boom.
Boom, okay. That, there was a water, not wastewater, was that wastewater or was that?
Stormwater.
Stormwater. Well, I don't see a problem over there, it's just probably paperwork, but that there's.
That's a problem.
Yes. I've called it Little New Orleans because there's no place for the water. I've been watching it, there hasn't been any problems in the last few years, but I've seen it right in town where, it's all sand here, but when we get a quick thaw, when the ground freezes, there's no place for the water to go. I don't know what their infrastructure is, if they have catch basins or what they have.
Whatever it is, it's not working.
I don't know how it, without pumps.
Okay,
It may not be a problem, but it's definitely high risk.
okay.
There's no place, it's a bowl, there's no place for the water to run off. And it probably wouldn't happen very many springs. It's gonna be in the spring or a winter thaw that it's gonna be problems. Is the town gonna be liable for, there's the sidewalks there too is another concern. That's all, does that go with the road too, that we have to maintain the sidewalks? And that was my two questions, the stormwater and the sidewalks.
And I think Butch is bringing up really valid points, and it's a complex development, it really is. And it would mean taking the time with a consultant to understand what the stormwater permit would require, and they would take over some of it, but would they take over all of it? Those things at the road, really figuring out what you would need them to do.
Well, and they should have a stormwater permit anyway, right? So are they in violation of that permit now?
I believe they're current on that, but it's complex, there's a lot of pieces. This is one of an accordion folder full of documents on that development. So it's certainly something that would take a lot of investigation and planning. But I think the question before the select board, I know you've discussed in the past, at what point does the town keep taking over roads, and at what point do they stop? So I
Right.
wanted to have a preliminary conversation with you. Is it something you would entertain? And if so, there would be probably quite a bit of work to flesh out the details of how to go about it.
Me personally, I say we don't entertain this motion. That we just let that remain to be private at this time. We know we have a problem there already.
Butch and I have been down there, and even the turnaround, it doesn't look as good as the one on Flat Drive. So, you know, I'm ready to say, no, they come in, let them take care of their own, you know, I just, you know, because eventually we're gonna have to hire more men and another truck, and I think it's time to stop, but I don't know what you.
You know, I think the taking over of roads, you know, having them come under town jurisdiction, it becomes a slippery slope. And it's, if we take over one road, then other people may say, well, what about my road?
Oh, yes, and they do.
And wouldn't I like to have Duck Point Road plowed? Well, no. So, yeah, I'm in agreement with you.
Kyle, what are your thoughts?
I'm actually gonna abstain from this because I live on THAC. I know what has to be done on THAC for the town to consider. So if I give you my opinion on this one, I don't think I should, so I think I should abstain.
All right, I appreciate that. Can we have a motion to not entertain taking over the Duso Road?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. But you will not be taking over that road. Or the
There's
sidewalk.
just questions I want you to
No,
answer first.
We,
I know.
we need to know all the information, and that was perfect information.
And Butch, while we're talking, I got a lady, a cook up to Richford. Her and her husband went for a ride last night down St. Albans across Parent Tire. She said that's the best Parent and Tire are the best dirt roads around. She said they were so nice. I said I'll make sure tonight to bring it up to the foreman. So you're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And the other thing, have you been taking vacation time?
I did, yeah.
All right. We want to make sure you get some of that comp time back. You use it. You earned it. You use it. It'll make,
Gaining slowly.
hey, your mental health is everything.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because when winter comes, forget it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for Butch?
The accident with the tree limb.
Okay, so that would go into executive. Okay. So, we'll ask Butch to stay for that. Vermont Land Trust. We received a letter from Vermont Land Trust. They are taking an option to buy 153 acres at Brown's Corners. Tax value is $218. How's that? Because it's in land use, is that why that is?
I did not see what you have in front of you. I also,
Isn't Brown's Corner in Franklin?
Yeah,
Part is, part us.
It's borderline between Highgate.
Is it the Fisk
Fifth,
property?
yeah.
It's listed as Fisk and LaRush, so I don't know if they own.
They
both
sold
of
it to
them.
LaRush.
But the way that I understand it is that the owners still maintain ownership of it. Land trust is purchasing an easement, so it won't transfer ownership.
So Heidi, is the land we're talking about, is it right there beside Mark Bassett's? Is that the land?
Well, you have a map, can I take that back? There's a map in your packet.
This one?
And, yeah, so it starts at the intersection of Brown's Corners, but that piece is not in Franklin. It's just the tail of it,
So that,
just the part
okay.
that's in here.
So that is the part over by Mark Bassett's?
Yeah, so the town line runs right through there.
Okay,
And-
yeah.
I'm not sure, actually, off the top of my head, who owns that. But
That's,
so,
that looks like Bassett's, right? Or is that the, no, is that,
I'd have to pull it up again to see who
Okay, so this is
the
how you-
neighbors were, I don't recall.
Okay, so this is the house, right? The
Sweeney House?
yeah, the old Sweeney house. And okay, and there's Mark Bassett's house. So yeah, it's right there. And this is Bassett's owns this section over here.
Trombley's.
Well, on the-
And then Trombley's is over on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
It would have been $653 total, and then with their, yes, with their current use, their land use credit, that brings their bill down to $218.
So they're purchasing the First Amendment to grant of development rights, conservation restrictions, and the right of first refusal to purchase an option to purchase at agricultural value on 153 plus or minus acres of land. That's complicated.
So it doesn't change ownerships, it just can't be
Development.
used, can't be developed.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can do anything to affect it anyway. I think they just notify you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, having said that, now you know. Okay. The Border Patrol is intending to erect an observation tower at the border. And Heidi, you're looking for more information for us.
I did ask them for a little more information. The map is kind of vague. I mean, it's clearly in Highgate Springs. It looks like it's off maybe the Mallard Road, but the map is too small to really see it. So, but I'm not heard back from them.
Okay. So we need more information about that. Okay. So it must be US Department of Homeland Security got a large fund of ARPA money too.
Sure. I think they've been talking about it for a while though.
Yeah. Okay, so more to follow on that. CUD, Communication Union District, are looking for representative.
They're looking for more participation, and they said Highgate was not the only town, but we haven't had representation at the meetings for a while, and there's enough towns not showing up that they can't get a quorum, and they've got some large grants and decisions to make. So I spoke with Randy, he does still want to be a representative, he's just otherwise occupied at the time. So he was urging us to get a few more alternates so that, somebody could fill in when he cannot.
Okay.
It's kind of a unique situation. It's helpful if you have some background in, the business. So I didn't know if you had any ideas on anybody.
I don't really. Most of the people I deal just want to run over computers.
Yeah.
What kind of business is it?
To put broadband into.
Techie,
Yeah.
computer techie.
Keep expanding legal services.
You'd be a good candidate.
Sign him up.
Not quite that high tech.
Chris, got any high-tech dreams?
I don't.
Tried.
Good effort.
Okay, so we'll put it out to the public that we are looking for some additional representatives from the town of Highgate. So if you have an interest in increasing our broadband and increasing our Wi-Fi and increasing our abilities to join the modern world in Highgate, please step up. All right. And I would also like to take a moment to send our thoughts and prayers to the Plouffe family in their loss of Sylvia, who was a longtime town clerk for the town of Highgate. Our thoughts and prayers are with her children and their families, and we're very sorry for your loss. Okay. Are there any other comments or questions? Oh, I do have one more, sorry. Lisa, I'd like to thank you very much for your help in getting our bond vote passed. Lisa Hango is one of our representatives, and she has gone above and beyond to help us try to get the information out and try to support us with everything she's got, and we really do appreciate that very much. So now I'll make last call. Anything else that does not have to go executive? Okay.
Oh, I was gonna tell you.
Yes.
We just got feedback at the polls. A lot of people didn't like the mass mailing of ballots, and we heard about it all day. I said I would pass it on. They said they were gonna start attending meetings, which probably isn't going to happen. But they think it opens the door for shady stuff. I said, well, not on my watch, it does not, but, I heard it, and it wasn't a specific age group, it was across the board, all kinds of people. Why did you send me this? I didn't want this, I didn't ask for this. Well, you're here now, go vote, like.
Right, yeah.
So, I heard it a lot that day, so I said I would pass it on. I told them to get used to it, because every other November, the state is going to be automatically sending everyone ballots, every other year in November. And that you guys were simply taking advantage of a change in the law that allowed you to do the same.
Right.
So,
And in hopes that we would have a greater
and we did.
input for
We did.
decisions, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear anything from all the people that voted and just delivered it too. They just happy they didn't have to
Yeah.
call, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they said they're gonna start attending meetings, but I'm like, okay.
I don't see them.
Oh, they're not.
They're all here.
They're all here. Yeah. Well, we welcome participation by anyone. These meetings are open. You also can watch on channel 15, 16. And we're happy to hear anyone's thoughts, concerns, complaints, positives. Yeah, I know we don't have those either, but occasionally you do. That's right. So I would entertain that we exit the regularly selected select board meeting. Okay, Butch.
Just one quick, I
Yeah.
didn't mention that the Gore Road that's on the.
Oh, yes.
And he's got it on the board and we've got it posted that it will be closed Tuesday from 7 to 4.
Saw the signs up there tonight.
Okay, yeah. Just a little
In the area of
reminder.
the Cassidy Park.
Yes, Cassidy.
Okay, so make alternate plans.
Don't holler at the help.
That's right. Don't run over any of our help.
The bus company knows.
Yes.
Signs are up on the road, yeah.
Yeah, I called them, so they.
Good. Okay. I'd also go back to making the motion that we exit the regularly scheduled select board meeting and enter into executive with Butch Brusso, Mary and Dick Souza, Heidi Birch Valenta.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.